Hi, my name is Christopher Cronin. I'm now residing in Honolulu, Hawaii. I'm going to discuss my first book called The GOP have all become traitors and sellouts. The first chapter is called Trump, McConnell, and Madison helping out the minorities. It's not what it sounds like. It is the clever use of the Bill of Rights that McConnell has put steroids on to give a huge advantage to the wealthy. Our political system is based on a federal presidential republic and therefore is governed by elected representatives and by elected leader such as a president rather than by a king or a queen, which stems from the Constitution created by our founding fathers, which James Madison being particularly influential. He wrote the Federalist Papers that defended new additions to the Constitution, such as the Bill of Rights, which further added protections for the minority party, which at the time was the rich landowners, which gave them powers and magnified the power of the minority had at the time. However, in doing so, Madison had to convince the other framers that the only problem to this type of governance comes from the majority factions, because the principle of popular sovereignty may prevent minority factions from gaining power. He said we needed mechanisms to even the playing fields. Madison offers two ways to check the majority party's influence, one of which is to prevent cohesion toward the same goals or interests in majority at the same time, or to block the majority from passing a unified agenda. So, I wonder, is McConnell reinforced with Russian aid engaged in this purpose? Those fake Facebook propaganda posts aiding in the dissemination of character flaws of certain key Democrats is definitely an example of this. The end result is to keep Citizens United alive by letting Trump win and then have him pick a SCOTUS pick, a Supreme Court pick that's going to keep Citizens United alive, which is definitely going to keep Citizens United alive, which is the one piece of legislation that's going to keep the corporations in control, or as Madison put it, the minority is still in control. And if so, was the weakening of NATO a very big part of the reimbursement? That's something to seriously consider, as I think McConnell is being very shady when it comes to him not strengthening the software to the voting booth apparatuses. Joe Scarborough, a former congressman, a Republican congressman, gave him the moniker of Moscow Mitch. He came right out and said it. He said that Moscow Mitch wouldn't strengthen the software to the voting booth apparatuses because he said, and I quote, he thought that Mitch knew that the Russians were going to fix the election. And looking at what just happened over in the EU, I think they did it over there too, because bringing down NATO is very much a part of Putin's plan. And as you see many times over and over again, Trump has basically done what Putin wants him to do. The second half to this is the straight up roadblocks that Mitch McConnell throws at the Senate. The latter has Mitch McConnell's fingerprints written all over it. Mitch McConnell, as the Senate leader, basic foray is to position himself to block everything that the Democrats put forward for legislation that's definitely there to help the middle class. Today, I see a direct link from the Federalist Papers centuries ago to today's Republicans in Congress as they block any legislation geared at helping the majority faction, or in today's world, this translates to the middle class. The Democrats taking away power from the lobbyists stand in complete contrast to what the Republicans stand against. And McConnell, I think, is prepared to commit treason to keep it from happening.